Well, hello there. Good day to you. Welcome back to the channel. I know you're visiting because you're like me, like to do everything yourself. My name's Jeff Cunha. I'm a licensed contractor and electrician in the state of California. Not a mechanic per se, but hey, when your car is giving you trouble, we look into it, right? So this is a 2001 Honda Accord V6. Had the check engine light come on, of course. Error code P0401. Now, how do you find the error codes? I have a cheap little scanner. I got this scanner years and years ago. I don't even know what kind. Innova 3130. So let me show you. You can just plug it in under here. So you're going to take your little tool, take your scan tool, plug it in. Plug it in, it's going to come on. It's going to say to link, turn the ignition on. So we'll do that. Boop. ISO detecting the protocol. All goes well. It will detect the protocol, and there's our error code. P0401, exhaust gas recirculation flow insufficient detected. So, there's Kobe. He's helping us out today. Kobe, you helping us out today? Insufficient flow. Did a little research on this motor, and so pulled the intake manifold out. We'll be dropping stuff down the manifold, but on these Accords, there's a little tiny exhaust gas recirculation port right there. And if you look on the manifold, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. 100% plugged. So we're going to jam a screwdriver down in there, put this manifold back on. Hopefully we'll let the car clear its own codes in a few minutes. So we'll show you that in a minute. Goodness, this thing could use a little detailing, right? All right, so first thing you have to do is remove these covers. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. These two have a couple of screws. Just turn them a quarter turn. Pull this one off first, then this one. These middle ones, they snap in, so if you just grab it about right here. Then this last one, it can be a little tricky because it's underneath the power steering hose. Pop that up, has some clips on the front. Then when you slide it out, just push it past the power steering hose. We've seen some that detach this whole box assembly, but really you can leave this connected and just pull the manifold out with these 4 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now there are 9 bolts that hold down this manifold, and you're going to take them out in the order of the picture that we're going to show here. back side of the manifold, we need to detach this hose right here. We need to undo this connector by just pushing on this tab right here, and then pulling it straight out. And then on this little gizmo, you could pull these hoses out, but sometimes when there's a lot of miles, like in our case, it's easier just to take these two bolts out. They're 10 millimeter. We're going to take a little screwdriver and we're going to get in here, clean this up. Lots of goo. Probably put a little carburetor cleaner in there as well. Can't see nothing. Gonna need to get the flashlight. Help these old eyes out. Just one sec. Oh, that's looking better already. I wonder if that goes through. Yep, it does. Exhaust gas recirculation. So we live in California, so we need to be good to the environment. This helps it. Burns exhaust gas again. Whoa, that's got a lot of goo in there. Okay, that's fine. That's looking good. How about over here, though? That should do it. That port's all nice and clean now. When the EGR valve opens, the exhaust gas is supposed to go back through this port to burn the fuel, raw fuel one more time. Improves efficiency. So we should be able to bolt this back up and be in business. We're also going to clean the port on the engine. The manifold itself was definitely plugged. This doesn't look as plugged, but we're going to go ahead and clean it right here. Now, some of you ask, how is it that we've learned to do many of the things that we do? And I really credit most of my education to my dad. We grew up on a dairy farm. And so on the dairy farm, my dad, he was an electrician, he was a mechanic, he was a carpenter, whatever needed to be, he did. And thankfully, Dad always taught us what he knew. So we lost my dad back in 2010. Actually, today's the memorial. Today's the day he died in 2010. Just a sec. So, what a wonderful dad he was. I was 40 when he was born, so he had extreme patience with us. I was one of those hyperactive children. He was always there for us, taught us all kinds of things. Taught us how to build things, taught us how to fix things, taught us how to repair things, taught us how to do it yourself instead of trying to hire somebody. Really, he's the voice in my head. Thanks, Dad. We love you. Well, back to the task at hand. Let's get this put back together. Now the bolts for the intake manifold are 16 foot-pounds or 192 inch-pounds. So we're going to set our gauge. We're going to start at 100 inch-pounds and then we'll go up to 192. So go around once at 100 and then once at 192. And again, you'll see, we'll put a picture of the sequence you're going to want to tighten these at. You helping, bud? Here we go at 100 inch-pounds. And 2 is here. I got the schematic over there, schematical. 1, 2, 3. Back to 4. And over to 5. And then over to 6. Back here, yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. And over to 7. Back here. On the little bracketry. 8's here. 9's back over here. And we're going to do it one more time. Now we're going to turn her up to 192 if I can see. Can't see, I'm going blind. There's 185, 190, 192. Now we'll go around again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. Now you're going to reattach the hose back to the manifold in the back. You remember that little feller where you put it in? Right there. Put back in our two 10mm bolts. Tighten those down. Connect this connector till it clicks. Okay, so we've got our intake back on, we've got our doohickey back on, we've got our hose back on, we've got our back plate back on, we've got our electrical connector. Now all we have to do is put on our engine covers. Back one goes on first. Sneak around our power steering. Then this middle one. Very nice. Then this end one. Boop. Then the front one. Boop. Okay. Little screwdriver action here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to open the garage door. Let's see if she'll fire up. Okay, so we've got updates. Check engine light has gone off. However, when we hook up the scan tool, we're still getting that code as a pending code. So we're still getting a pending code, and we need to smog this vehicle, so I need that pending code to go away. So we're going to check one other thing on this machine. The little doodad, doohickey that tells the computer that the exhaust gas recirculation is not sufficient, we're going to clean that port. We'll show you how to do that. So that little gizmo right there is the sensor that tells the computer, hey, we got a problem with the exhaust gas. So we're going to pull this sensor off. We're going to clean that passage to see if that'll enable more flow to the sensor. Remember, push this tab in to release the sensor plug. And I'm using a 3/4 inch flare. Let's see what we got in here. Alright, so we ran this wire in there, and there definitely was something, some carbon buildup or something in there. So we're hoping that this is going to fix the problem and turn off that pending code. I'm going to use the lungs as a test, see if we got good airflow now. Excellent airflow. Excellent airflow now. Let's see if that fixes it. I'm going to hit this sensor with a little carbon choke cleaner. And put that sensor back in. It's got an O-ring, so we don't have to put it too tight. Plug this back in. Alright, so we're going to take her out, run it through its paces a little bit. There's Kobe, he's helping. We'll run it through its paces a little bit, and then we'll come back, give you a report. Alright, so I put about a half a tank through this thing just to see if I could get those codes to erase. Look at that. So really it was a combination of pulling the manifold and cleaning that little port like we showed you, and then also pulling that sensor and cleaning it that way. Those two things seem to be the key to get this check engine light to go off and to have the codes cleared. And as proof that this machine is cured, here is our smog report for 2024. Vehicle has 266,953 miles. Overall result, pass. Exhaust gas recirculation, pass. Now you're going to notice with this engine, a lot of these 3.0 liter motors have a valve tick. I don't know if you've heard it before. This car has 266,000 miles on it. Did some research on that particular issue, and we're getting, just a little bit of slop because she's getting older. So now leave in the comments if you think this was a terrible idea. But what we did is we're running some heavy duty diesel engine oil in this engine now. We're running 1540. Not sponsored. I'll show you what we're running. This is what we're running in this now. 1540. This particular oil is super excellent. I can't believe the difference it made in this engine. So you can leave in the comments if you think that's a terrible idea, but so far it's really brought this engine back to life. We're going to give a little detail in here, then we're going to call it a day. So again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your support very much. We'll see you on the next one.